Never. How you doing? This is Chef Will. On the menu, I'm going to show you something that is like a classic condiment that a lot of people either screw up or are afraid to do or just don't do right. There's a lot of restaurants that don't do it right, by the way. So I'm going to show you some grilled onions. I'm going to show you how to actually cook grilled onions and also how to make caramelized onions, all right? So it'll be one step taken further. So you start with the grilled onions, and then you continue to cook them, and you add some ingredients, and then you end up with caramelized onions. So on the menu today, caramelized onions and grilled onions. Now, the type of onion that you use is very important. I like to mix them. I like red onions because they're very sharp, and I also like the sweet onions. There are Maui onions, there are white onions, there are yellow onions. There's all kinds of onions, okay? Typically, most restaurants use what is called a yellow onion. I don't have an up. Sometimes my tongue just does what it wants. All right, so red onion, okay, you can tell by the red skin, okay, it's a spicier kind of onion. It's usually what they put on sandwiches and stuff. If you're gonna put it on a sandwich, I suggest you slice it and then soak it in a little bit of cold water to get some of the sharpness, bitterness out, okay? And then I'm gonna use a sweet onion. This is a sweet onion, sometimes called a Maui onion. And it's more of, let me show you the shape because it's not necessarily like the other onion. You see how it's kind of a flat kind of onion, you know? But those are the really, really good ones for caramelized onions. Now, obviously, you're going to peel the onion, all the skin on the outside, all right? On this one as well. I'll show you what that looks like. Different ways to peel it. You can, cut the ends off, do a little slit on the side and pull the skin back. Or you can cut them in half and then pull the skin, whatever, all right? Just get the top layer off. All right, cut it in half, see? See the skin? That's what you want to, this is what you want to peel, all right? So this is what you end up with, okay? That's what you want. All right, so this is what the onions will look like when you peel them, okay? And I love red onions. It's so pretty. Onions, depending on which onion it is, gives more of an aroma that might irritate you, okay? So one of the recommendations is that you put it in the fridge for like 20 minutes before you actually cut it. But my recommendation is this, and it's simple. Use a sharp knife. If you use a sharp knife, you're going to cut through the membrane and the cells, and you're not going to squeeze them where it squirts out that stuff that irritates your eyes, okay? And that chemical is syn-propanethyl S-oxide. That's the irritant. Syn-propanethyl S-oxide. Whatever, dude, it's the onion juice and it fucks you up. So just make sure that you use a sharp knife and refrigerate the onion before, okay? Now it's just a matter of cutting the onions, thin or thick or whatever. Just remember that the thicker you cut it, the longer it's going to take to cook. The thinner you cut it, the chances are the onion will disintegrate, okay? So you're going to do about a 1/4 inch thick. And it's just for this purpose because you'll see at the end how good it looks. All right, so this is how thick you want the onion, all right? Look at my finger. I got big hands. But this is how thick you want the onion, all right? So now I'm going to cut the rest of them. Now, when you talk about sharp knives, make sure that you get a really good one. Did I introduce you to Herman? Herman kicks ass. So here we got the white onions, and here we got the red. So now that the onions are cut, we're going to get to cooking, okay? So you're going to need a sauté pan, you're going to need some olive oil, and a little bit of kosher salt. When you're using a stainless steel pan, make sure this pan is warm before you put the oil in, okay? So I'm going to put it on a medium, give it a minute, add the oil, the onions, a little bit of salt, and the process begins. Now this takes time, so you need patience. But from this process right now that I introduced you to, you get grilled onions, okay? You get caramelized onions. You can make balsamic onions, and you make an onion jam. It's all this. It's just longer cooking and different ingredients that you add, all right? So there you go. See? It's not some kind of magic thing. It's just knowledge. Listen to that. Yeah. Oh, the last thing too is I know that looks like a lot of onions, but the liquid is going to evaporate from the onions and it's going to shrink down, okay, the whole thing. So you're going to be surprised. Watch. See some of the steam rising? That's already the liquid that's being drawn out of the onions with a little bit of the help of the salt, the kosher salt, all right? Now, for all practical purposes, if I was in the restaurant business right now or in a restaurant situation, I would save all the onion peels, the skins and stuff, because that's how I would make my sauces. We simmer them with the chicken bones or the beef bones or the pork bones or whatever it is you want to do, fish bones, and you make stocks with that. Okay, it gives it a really nice amber color and a really deep kind of umami flavor. So that's just me talking crap about crap that I know so that you know. Okay, so you see how much they've actually melted down now, okay? And this is at the 7-minute mark. So we went 2 minutes and then I went another 5. Now this back here, you see the pan, all right? This is the caramelization. This is the sugar from the onions coming out, okay? This is making them sweeter, all right? You want that, but you gotta watch it so that it doesn't burn, all right? You wanna keep scraping the bottom and moving the onions around. Cool. If you could smell these onions right now, oh my God. And that's it. It's just the red onion and the maui, all right? The sweet onion. All right, so now we're 5 minutes past that last 5-minute mark. So we're looking at, I believe, 17 minutes right now. And this is what they're looking like. You see the bottom? It's starting to caramelize, all right? There we go, long. See, we're starting to get a little color. Okay, that's all the sugars. Okay, so scrape everything from the bottom, mix them up, and then at this point, I lower the flame. Okay, I'm gonna put it on low and just let them cook slowly. Look at the sugar. Now it's time to get a little geeky on you. That browning that you see on the bottom of the pan, all right, it's called the fond. I call it. I don't call it the fond because it's called the fond, but I'm really fond of it. Now, it is actually scientifically called the Maillard effect, Maillard. And that is when the sugars are drawn out by heat of a protein or some kind of carb, and it starts to burn, to caramelize, okay? That's what it's called. So I just learned you something. So at this point, you can use these as grilled onions for a burger. Okay, these are perfect, perfect. All right, but I want to take it a little further and make the caramelized onions, which means they're going to get darker. Okay, and then I'm going to do the balsamic caramelized onions, which is a step after that, and it's awesome. All right, so check these out. Look at that. These are perfect. These are now caramelized, all right? These are caramelized onions. You see the color? See the color? Look at that. All right? They're super sweet right now. Look at that, okay? Now, I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to add some balsamic onions. But I'm going to split this because I want some caramelized onions, and then I want some balsamic. So here you have the grilled onions, caramelized onions, all right? Now this black tar looking thing is a balsamic syrup that I made. I will show you how to make that at some point. But if you get some balsamic syrup, you can buy it, or get some balsamic vinegar. You add it to the grilled onions and you let it cook down. You'll see. Here we go. See that? And that should be enough. Yeah, folks, delicious. You should try this in a grilled cheese or in a burger or on a hot dog or on a sandwich. It's delicious. Also, let them cool off and you can put them in a charcuterie board. And here we have the balsamic onions. Delicious. So there you have it. How to grill onions the proper way and how to go from grilled onions to caramelized onions to balsamic onions. Make sure you use the right onions. Make sure you have the time to do it. Don't walk away, because once they burn and they char, it's really not a good flavor, okay? I hope you try it. Chef Will on the menu with Chef Will Gotay. And hopefully you'll try these grilled onions, balsamic onions, any kind of onions you want. All right, take care. All right, let's try these caramelized onions. I'm telling you, it transforms the onion. And these, next level, folks. Next level.